Those who read this letter will be the most successful people today. I will be the one to provide you with knowledge, experience, and wealth. Most importantly, from this point forward, I will help you memorize the lessons of success in the shortest time possible. Share me with your friends so that together, we can become elite and build lasting wealth. The truth is, it's always been right in front of you. Hidden beneath the noise of industrial struggle and the weary sighs of those resigned to a life of just enough lies a mathematical certainty so profound it borders on the divine. We have been taught to believe that wealth is a matter of luck, an accident of birth, or the result of a ruthless, competitive spirit. But in the year 1910, a man named Wallace D. Wattles shattered these illusions. He stepped forward not with a suggestion, but with a proclamation that getting rich is a literal science. It is not a philosophy to be debated, it is a law to be applied. Imagine a universe that is not a cold, empty void, but a living, breathing ocean of formless substance, a primal matter that responds to the power of human thought. This substance is the raw material of reality, and every thought held within it creates the very thing the thought depicts. The journey begins with the radical acceptance that a person has a fundamental, God-given right to be rich. To be poor is not a virtue, it is a tragedy. A stifling of the soul's potential to expand and express itself. Life seeks growth, and growth requires resources. Therefore, to seek wealth is to seek the fullest expression of life itself. The narrative of this science unfolds through the actions of an individual who decides to stop competing and start creating. Most people spend their lives in a desperate, animalistic struggle for a bigger slice of a finite pie. They believe that if one person gains, another must lose. But Wattles introduces the archetype of the creative man, a person who understands that the formless substance is infinite. There is no need to cheat, to drive a hard bargain, or to look at another's success with envy. When a person moves from the competitive mind to the creative mind, they become a collaborator with the universe. They realize that they do not have to take something away from someone else, they can bring something new into existence through the sheer force of their mental vision. This is the first great lesson. The world of lack is an illusion created by a limited perspective. The real world is a world of abundance, where the supply is as limitless as the mind that conceives it. By aligning one's thoughts with this creative power, the individual stops being a victim of the economy and starts being its architect. To harness this power, the seeker must master the certain way of thinking. This is not a vague hope or a flickering wish, but a laser-focused mental image held with unwavering purpose and faith. Wattles describes the mental mechanics of this process with the precision of an engineer. You must see what you want as if it were already a physical reality. You must live in the mental house you wish to inhabit, drive the mental car you wish to own, and feel the weight of the gold you wish to hold. The moment doubt enters the mind, the connection to the formless substance is severed. Doubt is the rust that corrodes the machinery of manifestation. The analysis of this mental discipline suggests that our habitual thoughts act as the mold for our reality. If we think of poverty, we provide a mold for lack. If we think of riches, we provide a mold for abundance. The lesson learned is that the mind is a broadcasting station, and the universe is a perfect receiver. To change the broadcast is to change the life, but a vision without a connection is a ghost. The bridge between the human mind and the source of all wealth is the profound, vibrating energy of gratitude. This is perhaps the most misunderstood element of the science. Gratitude is not merely a social grace, it is a psychological and spiritual law. The more gratefully we fix our minds on the Supreme when good things come to us, the more good things we will receive, and the more rapidly they will come. The story of the grateful heart is the story of a person who is always in harmony with the creative forces of the universe. When you are grateful, you move your mind closer to the source, and by the law of reciprocal action, the source moves closer to you. The analysis reveals that an ungrateful mind is a disconnected mind. When we complain, we focus on what is missing, and by doing so, we attract more lack. Gratitude, however, forces the mind to look at the more, and what we focus on, we amplify. This is the alchemy of the soul, turning the lead of current circumstances into the gold of future reality through the simple act of being thankful for what is yet to come. The storytelling takes a turn toward the practical as it addresses the will. Many people try to use their will to influence others or to force the world to give them what they want. Wattles calls this the competitive will. And it is a path to failure. The true use of the will is internal. You must use your will to keep your own mind focused on the vision of wealth. You have no right to exert your will over another person, even for their own good. Each soul is its own master. The only person you have the right or the power to change is yourself. This is a liberating and terrifying truth. It removes the excuse of blaming the system or the government. If you are not rich, it is because you have not yet mastered your own mental focus. The analysis suggests that the strongest person in the room is not the one with the loudest voice, but the one with the most disciplined mind. The lesson is that your will is a rudder, and your task is to keep it pointed toward the destination of your choice. Regardless of the storms that may rage on the surface of your life, as the seeker masters their inner world, they must then confront the necessity of action. There is a common trap in the world of manifestation, the belief that one can simply think and wait for a bag of money to fall from the sky. Wattles is ruthless in dispelling this fantasy. While thought brings the thing to you, you must receive it through action. But this action must also be performed in a certain way. It is not about frantic, exhausting labor, it is about efficient action. Every day, you must do all that can be done that day. And you must do each act in a successful manner. If you perform enough successful acts, your life becomes a success. The story of the successful person is simply the story of a string of successful days. The analysis here is vital. The quality of your work matters more than the quantity. You must put the power of success and the desire to get rich into every single thing you do. No matter how small or menial the task may seem, consider the person who works a low-level job but holds the vision of being a great leader. They do not do their work half-heartedly because they are above it. Instead, they do their current job so perfectly and with such a spirit of advancement that they overflow their current position. The universe cannot keep a person in a small place when they have become too big for it. This is the law of increase. Everything in nature is seeking more life. The plant seeks to grow. The animal seeks to reproduce. And the human seeks to expand. When you move with the spirit of increase, you are moving with the current of the universe. The lesson learned is that you must become more than your present place. You must provide more use value to others than the cash value you take from them. This creates a vacuum that the universe must fill with more wealth and more opportunity. The narrative of this science is a narrative of absolute certainty. It rejects the idea that there is a lack of opportunity. Opportunity does not vanish, it simply changes its form to meet the needs of those who think in the certain way. If the tides of industry change, the person who is in harmony with the formless substance will be the first to see the new path. They do not fear competition because they are not competing. They are creators. They are the ones who see the gold in the hills before the hills are even formed. The analysis of Wattles' work suggests that we are not living in a world of limited resources, but in a world of limited imagination. The only reason a person remains poor is that they either do not know the science, or they are too lazy or fearful to apply it with the necessary discipline. As the first part of this script draws to a close, we see a world transformed. The gray, heavy atmosphere of survival of the fittest is replaced by a golden light of creative potential. We see that the power to get rich is not a gift bestowed upon a few, but a technology available to all. The seeker has learned to mold the formless substance with their thoughts, to anchor their vision with gratitude, and to bridge the gap between mind and matter through efficient action. The stage is set for a deeper exploration of how to handle the skeptics, how to maintain the vision when the external world seems to contradict it, and how to ultimately step into the role of a master who commands the elements of their own destiny. The science is real. The laws are fixed. And the gold is waiting for those who have the courage to think in a certain way. The expansion of the creative consciousness continues as the individual learns to navigate the dense, often discouraging atmosphere of the physical world while maintaining a high-frequency mental state. A crucial part of this science is the impression of increase, because the universe is an ever-unfolding expression of life seeking more life. Every human soul is instinctively drawn to those who can provide a sense of advancement. Wattles describes the successful person as a magnet, a center of increase from which a radiant energy flows out to everyone they encounter. Whether you are a doctor, a teacher, a salesperson, or a laborer, you must leave every person you touch with the distinct impression that they are becoming more through their association with you. You must communicate the more life principle through every word, every gesture, and every glance. The analysis of this social magnetism reveals a profound economic truth. People will go where they are given increase. If you are a business owner who truly desires the advancement of your customers, your business will grow beyond your wildest dreams, not because you are selling better, but because you are vibrating at the frequency of the universe itself. The lesson learned is that your wealth is a byproduct of the value you add to the lives of others. It is the spiritual law of gravity. As you lift others up, the reaction inevitably lifts you higher. However, this must be done without the desire for mastery. You must never seek to increase yourself at the expense of another or to dominate the will of others. The moment you seek power over people, you have fallen back into the competitive mind, and the creative power will begin to withdraw from you. As the seeker moves further down this path, they encounter the vividness of vision. It is not enough to have a general desire to be rich. A general desire is a weak signal. You must have a clear, specific, and detailed picture of what you want. You must see the textures, smell the air of your future, and hear the sounds of your success. This mental image must be your constant companion. Wattles compares the seeker to an architect who knows every detail of the house before a single stone is laid. You do not need to spend hours in formal prayer or meditation if you can maintain this mental attitude throughout your working day. The analysis suggests that the subconscious mind does not respond to maybe, it only responds to is. By holding the vision as a present reality, you are literally instructing the formless substance to begin the process of materialization. This leads to the vital concept of the advancing man. The advancing man is one who knows exactly what he wants and knows that he can become what he wants. He does not wait for a change in circumstances to start being great. He is great in his present circumstances. If he is a clerk, he is an advancing clerk. He does his work with the certainty that he is moving toward a higher position. He does not try to be successful, he is a success in every small action of the day. The story of the advancing man is a story of internal expansion that forces external growth. The universe cannot keep a great soul in a small job. If you are too big for your place, the universe will provide a larger place, or you will create one. This is the science part of the philosophy. It is a law as fixed as the law of gravity. The analysis of this principle provides a shield against the fear of missing out or losing your chance. In the science of getting rich, there is no such thing as an opportunity that can be stolen by someone else. If you are in the creative mind, new opportunities are being created for you at every moment. You do not have to hurry. Hurry is a manifestation of fear and the competitive mind. When you hurry, you are essentially saying that you believe there is not enough to go around. The lesson is to move with a calm, steady, and invincible faith. If one door closes, it is only because a much larger and better door is about to open. The only way to fail in this science is to give up on your vision or to let your faith waver. The narrative then addresses the social and domestic atmosphere. Many seekers find themselves surrounded by people who are skeptical, negative, or resigned to poverty. Wattles advises a radical mental hygiene. You must refuse to listen to the poor talk of the world. You must avoid books, movies, and conversations that dwell on poverty, suffering, and the hardship of life. This is not out of a lack of compassion, but out of the understanding that you cannot help the poor by becoming one of them. The best way to help the poor is to become rich and demonstrate that wealth is possible through the application of the law. You must keep your mind filled with images of wealth, health, and advancement. The analysis shows that our mental environment is just as important as our physical one. If you allow the weeds of poverty thought to take root in your garden, they will eventually choke out the seeds of your vision. The storytelling takes a deep, metaphysical turn when discussing the way of receivement. We have established that thought brings the thing you want, but action receives it. But what kind of action? It must be an action that is more than enough. You must do everything you can do today, but you must not overwork. Overworking is often a sign of the competitive mind, a fear that if you don't do it all now, it will be gone. Efficient action means doing each task with the full power of your vision behind it. When you wash a dish, you wash it as a billionaire would. When you write a letter, you write it as a person of great influence. By putting the power of success into the smallest tasks, you are training your nervous system and the universe to recognize you as a winner. The lesson here is about the frequency of achievement. Every time you complete a task successfully, no matter how small, you are increasing your success momentum. The story of a life is nothing more than the sum of its daily actions. If most of your daily actions are failures, your life will be a failure. If most of your daily actions are successful, your life must be a success. The analysis suggests that the certain way is a lifestyle of excellence. It is a commitment to being the highest version of yourself in every moment. This is how you prepare the way for the wealth that is moving toward you. You are creating a vessel that is strong enough and large enough to hold the abundance that the formless substance is creating in response to your thought. As the narrative of the science reaches its penultimate stage, we see the seeker standing in a state of quiet confidence. They are no longer swayed by the news of the day or the opinions of the crowd. They have seen the law work in small things, and they know it will work in large things. They have replaced wishing with knowing. They understand that they are part of a cosmic partnership. They provide the vision and the action, the formless substance provides the material and the coincidences. The analysis of this stage is one of total empowerment. The seeker realizes that they are not a pawn on a chessboard, but the player who moves the pieces. They have discovered the master key to the universe, and they are ready to unlock the final vaults of their potential. The stage is set for the final transition, the moment when the mental image and the physical reality become one. The seeker has navigated the traps of competition, the fog of doubt, and the seduction of pessimism. They have become an advancing soul in an advancing universe. The final part of this journey will reveal the ultimate core message, the grand synthesis and the powerful, undeniable truth that determines why some people remain in the shadows of just enough while others step into the blazing light of more than enough. The science is complete. The laws are in motion. And the transformation is almost final. The final convergence of the science of wealth occurs when the individual realizes that they are no longer a separate entity fighting against the world, but a conscious channel through which the universe seeks to express its own infinite abundance. As we reach the summit of Wallace D. Wattles's 1910 masterpiece, the narrative of struggle is replaced by a narrative of inevitable unfolding. The seeker has learned that the formless substance is not a distant, indifferent force, but a living intelligence that wants to give you what you want because, in doing so, it can live more through you. The advancing man or advancing woman understands that their desire for a larger house, a more expansive business, or a greater fortune is actually the universe's desire for more perfect expression. This is the ultimate spiritual justification for wealth. You must be rich so that the Creator can live more fully in the physical realm through your activities and your enjoyment. The analysis of this final stage reveals the moral architecture of the science. Many are held back by a lingering, subconscious guilt that being too rich is somehow greedy or unspiritual. Wattles's work acts as a surgical strike against this limiting belief. He argues that the greatest service you can render to God and humanity is to make the most of yourself. And you can only make the most of yourself by becoming rich. When you are rich, you have the time, the energy, and the resources to develop your mind, body, and soul. You become a beacon of possibility for others. The story of the seeker concludes with the realization that their success is a benefit to the entire world. By creating wealth from the formless substance rather than taking it from others, they have increased the total amount of wealth in the world. They have added to the sum of life. The core message of the science of getting rich is that wealth is the result of thinking and acting in a certain way, a creative, non-competitive method rooted in a clear mental vision, unwavering faith, and deep gratitude, combined with efficient daily action. It intends to convey that there is a literal, predictable law of prosperity that anyone can master, regardless of their current environment or talent. By aligning your mind with the infinite intelligence of the universe and providing more value to the world than you take in cash, you create a vacuum that the laws of nature must fill with abundance. The book is a manifesto for the creative mind. proving that we are not victims of a limited world, but co-creators of an infinite one. There is a science of getting rich, and it is an exact science, like algebra or arithmetic.